Well, Saturday morning, Esther wakes up pretty early. She makes a wonderful breakfast, a light one for she and Dae to have because this is the day that their cross-country event is going to be. And Aunt Brandy said she was going to be there for certain. Dae and Ester dressed. Dae spoke to Ester and asked some serious advice. She asked, "What can I do to help me run faster?" And Esther told her not to wear her makeup today because that would eliminate any possibility of her makeup falling into her eyes and blinding her during the run. She told her to tie her hair in a ponytail, but not too tight. And she told her to have her feet taped and her ankles taped so that she'd have extra strength in her feet. And they asked what else, and Esther said, well, she believes the best practice would be to run as fast as possible from the beginning. Set the pace at Grant High speed. People will fall behind eventually, and then it'll be a matter of maintaining that fast pace and reaching the finish line in record time. And Dae listened to all this and agreed. It was not common at all for Dae to ever go anywhere without her makeup. But today she wanted to do everything possible to win. So Dae and Esther got into their Escalade, drove to the school. It appeared that almost all the school was there. The parking lot was full, and a lot of buses were ready to take students, and the large bus with the girls was ready to take them. Dae and Esther parked and walked up to the bus and got inside. They went to the high school first, the side door. Miss Strong, once Dae and Esther entered, said, "Everybody's here." And she told them that she had 6 of her friends that wanted to help. They were all going to provide taping of the ankles so that nobody would accidentally sprain their ankles today during a run. And this would guarantee their faster speed. And so the trip to the state park where the 5K was going to be run went pretty quick. They showed up, and Ms. Strong stood up in the bus, told each and every girl that she knew that they would all come out victorious today, and she was proud of all of them. She said, "Let's go show everyone what Grant High girls can do." She stepped out of the bus and waited for every girl to come off the bus, and she yelled out their names and gave them a pat on the back as they ran forward. So if any girl ever doubted that Ms. Strong knew them, they never did anymore, because she said everybody's name as they came off the bus. Most of the school was there cheering the girls as they got off the bus too. They were all applauding and yelling, very excited. The girls had been positioned in the center of the lineup, an envious point, and it was about 60 yards away. They all went down there and along the starting line and formed several concentric circles, started yelling, "Grant High, Grant High," and they did their cheer, "Forever, Grant High." And then eventually, within a few minutes, the starter had a podium out in front of him, had a megaphone, and he said on the megaphone that the race would start when he counted to 3 and fired his starter gun. That everybody knew the race route, and that there would be spotters along the route to guarantee everybody followed the route, and if anybody was injured, they'd get immediate help. So the starter counted 1, 2, 3 and fired the gun. Grant High took off extremely fast, moving out ahead of everybody almost immediately. It was about 600 girls from 18 schools running a half mile towards the mountains that were ahead, and the 5K route, we wouldn't see them again for probably 15 and a half, 16 minutes anyway. So as they approached the mountain and went into the woods, they were running on a trail. The girls disappeared and the crowd went quiet. So the crowd was talking and waiting in anticipation. They had been told that the trail came out at the far left, about a half mile away, and that it would be a sprint from there to the finish line. And as the girls came out, it puzzled the audience because it looked like a cloud shadow overhead had created a shadow on the ground, but that was a mistake. It was all of the Grant High School girls dressed in black, moving almost as one, coming through the woods and starting the sprint towards the finish line. Ester Saint was behind him, and she was yelling, "Okay, now, we have to sprint. Who wants to be the winner?" Out front were 4 girls that had never led before. Raven was trying to pass him. Dae was keeping up with Raven. Esther was allowing herself to fall back. And she was encouraging everybody to sprint harder. And so, very quickly, the announcer at the podium said, "That's not a dark shadow of a cloud. That is the Grant High girls running almost as a unit." And he said, "Please don't approach the finish line. We need to have it clear." They started the cameras to record the finish so that there'd be no question about it. And the girls got closer. It was neck and neck for everybody. At least 15 of the girls were extremely close to each other. At the very end, it appeared that Dae was out front by maybe 1 or 2 feet. All the girls had beaten the state cross-country record. They ran it in 16 0.6 minutes. 5 seconds behind him was a girl that had been thought of that would win this. Every Grant High girl had beat the anticipated winner that was from another school, and she came in 5 seconds behind him. So they all slowed down about 30, 40 yards after they crossed the finish line. They slowed down slowly, caught their breath. They were surrounded by a lot of people, including Ms. Strong, and congratulated. Quickly, the girls all went back to the finish line on each side and waited for the rest of the runners to approach. And they were at least 90 seconds behind. They cheered the continued finishers, making Ms. Strong very proud of them, showing such sportsmanship. And after the final girl came in, the announcer said that the Grant High girls had each and every one broken the old state cross-country record, and that the unofficial winner was Dae from Grant High. So they had the trophy ceremonies. All the girls accepted the trophy and passed it among themselves. They all got to handle it. They got on the bus, and it was a great ride home. A lot of excitement. Miss Strong and her friends, they unlaced the shoes, removed the tape from the girls' feet, cleaned their feet with alcohol, put on new socks on everybody, and explained to them that helped their feet to recover from the hard run. And they were finished with that by the time they got back to the school. Miss Strong gave them a small speech before they left the bus, congratulated all of them, told them that they had each and every one broken the state race time by over a minute that had been held for quite a number of years. And Ms. Strong congratulated everybody and said, please have a fantastic weekend, and we will see everyone on Monday.